Have you ever actually, really hit the brakes on your day to look at the blueprints of your own reality?
That is a heavy opener.
I mean it, though. I'm not talking about the floor plan of your house or, the orb chart at your office. I'm talking about the architecture of your life.
The actual structure.
The events, the circumstances, the loops that keep happening. Are you consciously building a palace, or are you maybe accidentally constructing a shack because you didn't realize you were the one holding the pencil?
It's a really provocative question
Right.
because most of us, and I definitely include myself in this, we just assume we're living in the world. We're reacting.
Right, traffic happens, so we get mad.
Exactly. Bills come, so we get stressed. We rarely stop to consider that we might be the ones designing the experience itself, moment by moment.
It's a terrifying thought, but also kind of liberating, and that brings us right to the core of what we're doing here today.
Right.
We are back for the second part of our exploration of Charles F. Hanel's The Master Key System. Now, if you were with us for the first session, you know we laid out the basics.
The foundation, yeah.
Yeah.
The idea that the world within creates the world without.
But Today, we are going into the engine room. We are talking about imagination. And before you roll your eyes and think, fairy tales and make-believe, hold on.
Yeah, this is not child's play.
Far from it.
In the Hanel framework, imagination is the workshop. It is the specific mechanical tool where the pattern of your life is cut and shaped before it ever shows up in the physical world.
If this episode helps you, please hit like and subscribe for the next one. Because today, we are stripping away all the mysticism. We're looking at the psychology of attention, the mechanics of habit, and what Hanel calls the pattern of mind.
And our mission really is to move you from just, wishful thinking to something more like architectural thinking.
The architectural thinking, I like that.
We want to get into the mechanics. We're focusing on lessons 6, 7, and 8 of the system, which are all about the discipline of imagination and visualization. And I use that word discipline very intentionally.
Right, because Hanel wasn't some guru on a mountain. He was a captain of industry. He ran huge companies. He looked at the mind with the same rigor he'd look at a factory floor.
Precisely.
So let's start there. Section 1. Imagination as a shaping force. How does he actually define it? Because I think for most of us, it just means daydreaming.
And that's the very first distinction we have to make. It's a big one. Hanel is very, very clear that imagination is not mental dissipation.
Mental dissipation, so just letting your mind wander.
Exactly. He draws this hard line between imagination and what he calls fancy or daydreaming. He sees daydreaming as a total waste of mental energy.
So me staring out the window thinking about winning the lottery, that's not the tool he's talking about.
Not at all. That's passive. That's your mind running on screensaver mode. For Hanel, imagination is constructive thought. It's active. It is. It's mental labor. He uses this really powerful analogy that comes up again and again in the text. The architect.
The architect.
Yes. He says you cannot build a structure of any kind, a bridge, a skyscraper, until you have the plans. The builder can't do anything until he gets those plans from the architect.
And where does the architect get the plans?
From his head, from his imagination. He has to construct the entire building in his mind with detail before it can ever exist in the physical world.
Imagination is mental architecture, not daydreaming.
That's the core of it.
I love that image because it makes it so practical. You wouldn't try to build a skyscraper by just, showing up with a dump truck full of bricks and hoping for the best.
Of course not. You need the print.
But that is how most people approach their lives.
It is. We show up with the bricks of our daily actions, going to work, answering emails, but with no blueprint, no constructive thought guiding the structure. We're just stacking bricks at random.
So imagination sets the trajectory.
It sets the direction. If your mind is a workshop, your imagination is the tool that cuts the groove for everything else to follow.
Cuts the groove. That implies friction. It implies this isn't easy.
It's not. He talks about how this requires serious mental labor. He has this exercise where you have to visualize a friend's face in detail, not just the snapshot. No, the expression, the way they laugh, the room they're in, the light on their face. It requires intense concentration. It's not effortless at all.
It's like a mental workout, like holding a plank, but with your brain.
That's a perfect way to put it. And this is all about direction. Imagination isn't just seeing a picture for fun. It's setting the aim for all your subconscious power.
So without that aim, the power just scatters.
It just dissipates. We become ships with really powerful engines, but no steering wheel. We're busy, we're working hard, but we're not going anywhere on purpose. We're just drifting.
That is a scary thought. Accidental living. Okay, let's move to section 2 then. This phrase you used, pattern of mind. Let's break that down. What does that actually mean in plain English?
Think of it as your operating system's default setting. Or, to stick with Handel's analogies, think of it as a well-worn groove in a path.
Okay.
The pattern of mind is the direct result of what you habitually rehearse in your mind.
Rehearsal. That's the key word there. We usually think of, an actor memorizing lines for a play.
Right. But Handel's argument is that we are rehearsing all the time.
Mm.
Every single moment we're practicing something. And what you rehearse becomes your default.
What you rehearse becomes your default. Wow.
It's a powerful idea.
Okay, let's make that real. If I'm driving home from work and I spend that whole drive having a fake argument in my head with my boss about something.
You are rehearsing conflict. You're literally practicing the feelings of anger, of defensiveness.
Yeah.
You're cutting that groove deeper. You're telling your brain, this is how we respond in this situation.
So when I actually see my boss the next day,
What's your default reaction going to be? You're already primed for a fight. Your body is ready for it. You built the pattern for it.
that's really convicting. I think we all do that. We replay failures, we replay arguments thinking, oh, I should have said this.
And every time we replay them, we are validating them. We're telling our subconscious, this is important. Keep this file active. Handel says we have to use imagination to rehearse the opposite. Rehearse the solution, not the problem.
This connects directly to the idea of expectation as a filter, doesn't it?
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
This is a huge part of the pattern of mind. Your expectations act as a filter.
Your expectations act as a filter.
Yeah. In modern terms, we talk about the reticular activating system in the brain. It's the part that filters out junk and highlights what you've told it is important. Handel calls it your mental atmosphere.
So if my mental atmosphere, my blueprint, says people are generally untrustworthy,
Then your filter will literally block out evidence to the contrary. It will gloss over acts of kindness. But it will highlight every single slight, every rude driver, every piece of evidence that supports your blueprint.
it's like when you buy a new car and suddenly you see that car everywhere.
Exactly the same principle. They were always there. But now your filter is tuned to that frequency. Imagination is how we tune that filter consciously, instead of letting our old fears and habits do it for us.
Which brings us to the third piece, picture as aim.
This is the mechanism. The subconscious mind, which Tino calls this giant workforce, it doesn't judge. It doesn't have a sense of humor. It just aims at whatever target you give it.
Mental pictures set your aim.
Yes. So if the picture you're holding is of you failing a big presentation, stumbling over words, people looking bored, your subconscious says, okay, that's the target. Let's make sure the body language and memory recall all match that picture.
That is wild. It's not magic, it's instruction.
It is entirely mechanical in his view. That's why he calls it a system. Input equals output.
So if the subconscious is just a faithful servant following orders, we have to be extremely careful about the orders we're giving.
Incredibly careful.
Which takes us to section 3, the danger of sloppy imagination.
This is where almost everyone gets tripped up. They think they're positive because they want good things, but their actual habitual imagination is just sloppy.
Let's talk about worry rehearsals. Is worry just imagination pointed in the wrong direction?
Worry is a rehearsal of failure. It is a dedicated form of negative visualization.
Wow.
You're using the exact same powerful machinery, creating a future event, adding emotion to it, but you're using it to construct a disaster. Hanel basically asks, why are you investing your mental capital into building a house you don't want to live in?
There's a great line from the source material. He says, you cannot make broadcloth from shoddy material.
I love that quote. Shoddy was actually a technical term back then for this cheap, recycled wool that fell apart easily. Broadcloth was high-quality, dense, durable fabric.
So you can't build a high-quality life if your mental raw material is junk.
And worry is the shoddiest material there is. It's scraps of fear and doubt. You can't weave anything strong from that.
Another danger is vague goals. The problem of the foggy lens. Why is clarity so vital?
Because clarity creates mental strength. Hanel really emphasizes accuracy and clearness. If you tell an architect, just build me a nice house, maybe with some windows, what are you going to get?
A mess. The builder has no idea what to do.
Right. And your subconscious has no idea what to do with, I want to be happy or I want to be successful. It's too vague. The lens is foggy. You have to sharpen the focus. What does success look like, specifically?
If the blueprint is smudged, the building will be unstable.
It won't even get built. Your subconscious needs precise coordinates. It needs high-definition data, not a vague wish.
And then there's the big one, I think. Mixed messages. The build and destroy cycle.
This is the most common frustration. Someone gets excited, they do their visualization for 10 minutes in the morning. They see themselves healthy, calm,
They're
successful.
done then.
Then they go to work and spend the next 10 hours complaining, gossiping, and doubting everything. They build the wall in the morning and take a sledgehammer to it all afternoon.
You can't take one step forward and two steps back.
That's Handel's warning. Consistency builds the pattern of mind. If they feed your mind two contradictory blueprints, the result is just chaos, a blurry image.
And a blurry image creates a blurry reality. You don't get both pictures, you get neither. You just get noise.
That's a perfect way to describe it. Mental noise.
Okay, so we know what not to do. Don't worry, don't be vague, don't contradict yourself. Let's get to the solution. Section 4, the method.
Yes, he's very structured. He gives us a step-by-step approach. This is the master key itself.
Step first, choose one clear inner picture.
One. Not a wish list of 50 things. Pick one specific, clear outcome.
Why only one?
It's the principle of concentration. We scatter our energy when we try to change everything all at once. Pick one thing and focus the beam of your attention on it.
Don't scatter energy.
Right. And that exercise he gives of visualizing a friend's face is the training ground. If you can't hold that image steady for a minute without your mind wandering, how can you hold a steady image of a complex future goal?
It's mental weightlifting. Okay, step next.
Yeah.
Add one feeling word.
This is absolutely crucial. A clear picture can still be dead if it has no emotion attached. Handel says intellectual thought is cold. It's the feeling that gives it vitality.
Thought and feeling are an irresistible combination.
That's one of the biggest takeaways.
Yeah.
If you visualize a new car, it's just a picture. But if you visualize the feeling of security or freedom that comes with it, you're adding the fuel.
So you match the picture with a feeling word like confident or peaceful.
Or secure. That feeling is the glue. It tells the subconscious, pay attention, this one matters.
Step next, repeat consistently without strain.
And that without strain part is so important. People try to force it, they grit their teeth.
Right.
And Handel says tension kills creativity, it creates resistance. It should feel like a sanctuary, not a chore.
So it's not heavy lifting, it's about frequency.
Exactly. It's water cutting through rock.
Mhm.
Gentle, steady repetition.
And finally, prove it with aligned action.
This is the bridge to reality. You have to walk the talk.
Align your actions with your mental image.
Yes. Because if you're visualizing perfect health, but you're spending your days on the couch eating junk food,
You're sending a mixed message.
you're sending the strongest possible mixed message. Your actions are screaming that you don't actually believe the picture. Action is the final seal on the deal. It tells your whole system, no, this is real, this is who we are now.
This is great in theory. Let's make it concrete. Section 5. 3 practical examples. Let's start with work.
Okay, a super common problem.
Yeah.
Scattered priorities. You walk in Monday morning, you got 100 emails, Slack is going off, someone needs you, you're immediately overwhelmed. Your blueprint is, I'm drowning.
I feel that my heart rate just went up. What's the fix?
The fix is, before you open a single email, you sit for just a few minutes and you set one clear daily outcome. You visualize that one important project finished.
Not doing it, but done.
Yes. See the final report sent. And, crucially, feel the relief, feel the satisfaction of it being complete. You start your day with the feeling of the finish line.
So you're filtering your day through that success.
You are. Now, when you open your inbox, your brain is looking for the things that lead to that feeling of completion. You naturally start to ignore the distractions. You become the architect of your day, not a victim of it.
That's a huge shift. Okay, example 2. Relationships.
The problem here is often assuming conflict. You know you have to talk to a difficult coworker or a relative. Before they even walk in the room, you're already arguing with them in your head.
You're writing the script for a fight. I know what they're going to say, and then I'm going to say.
Exactly. You're building a blueprint for a disaster. The fix is assuming respect and clarity. You visualize a calm, productive interaction.
Even if they're usually difficult.
Especially then. You rehearse your calm response. You see yourself staying grounded, not taking the bait. You visualize the conversation ending peacefully, even if it's just agreeing to disagree.
You're guarding the door of your mind.
You are. You can't control the other person, but you can control your own mental rehearsal. And you'd be surprised how often when you change your energy, they respond differently. But even if they don't, you remain in control.
I like that. Okay, example 3. Habits.
The problem here is identity drift. We tell ourselves stories. I'm just not a morning person, or I'm just lazy, or I have no willpower.
We bake the limitation right into our identity.
We do. The fix is identity direction. You stop affirming the current limitation and start visualizing the desired identity.
So instead of trying to force myself to go to the gym while thinking, I'm a lazy person who hates this,
You visualize yourself as an athlete, or simply as a healthy, energetic person. You see yourself enjoying the feeling of strength after a workout. You focus on the identity first.
because actions follow this self-image.
Yes, if your self-image is, I'm disciplined, then acting with discipline feels natural. If your self-image is, I'm lazy, then discipline feels like a painful contradiction. Your subconscious will always try to prove your core identity correct.
Okay, that makes so much sense. So let's talk about where this can go wrong. Section 6. Common mistakes and fixes. Let's start with mistake 1. Inconsistency.
This is the big one. People try it for 3 days, nothing happens, and they quit. They say, this doesn't work.
Right, it's like planting a seed and then digging it up the next day to see if it's growing.
You just killed it. The fix is simple. Do it daily, even for just a few minutes. It has to become a rhythm. Consistency is what cuts the groove.
Mistake 2. Forcing the mind.
Trying too hard, straining, gritting your teeth.
The fix is to just relax.
Yeah, tension creates resistance. The state you want to be in is relaxed and receptive, like a pleasant daydream, but when you're steering. It should feel good, not like a chore.
Mistake 3. Lack of detail.
The foggy lens again. I want to be happy.
The fix is sharpen the focus.
Give your mind sensory data. What does success feel like? What does it smell like? What colors do you see? The more detail you provide, the more real it becomes.
Mistake 4. Entertaining contradictions.
The build and destroy cycle. You visualize success and then immediately think, yeah, but that will never happen for me.
The fix is to guard the door.
When that negative thought shows up, and you have to act like a bouncer. You don't argue with it. You don't analyze it. You just say, you're not on the list, and you replace it with your positive image.
Immediately.
Instantly.
And mistake 5. Ignoring the why.
This is about motivation. If you're visualizing a goal just because you think you should want it, the image will have no power.
So the fix is to connect the image to a core value.
Yes. Why do you actually want this? For freedom, for family, for security. The why is the emotional charge. Without a strong why, the picture will just fade.
This has been so practical. I want to actually try this right now. Let's do a short guided exercise. We're calling it the pattern set practice.
Okay, so for anyone listening, if it's safe to do so, just take a moment.
Step 1 is relax.
Just relax your body and slow your mind. Take one deep breath in and let it out. Let your shoulders drop.
Okay. Step 2, outcome.
Choose one simple, positive outcome for the rest of your day. Just one small thing. Maybe it's finishing a task with focus or having a peaceful dinner.
Got it. Step 3, picture.
Now build a clean mental picture of that outcome already done. See it as complete. See the finished product. See the smile on your face.
Step 4 is tone.
Add one word that captures the feeling, the tone you want. Maybe it's calm or accomplished or easy. Just feel that word as you see the picture.
Step 5, release.
Just gently hold that picture and feeling for a moment, and then release it. Let it go. Trust that the instruction has been delivered.
Step 6, action.
Now, think of one immediate tiny action you can take that matches that picture. Maybe it's just straightening your posture or sending one email, something small.
And finally, step 7, cleanse.
For the rest of the day, if you catch yourself contradicting that image, just gently wipe it away. Cleanse the lens and bring the positive picture back into focus.
That's it. That's the practice.
If you do that every morning, you're actively becoming the architect of your day.
This has been incredible. My whole view of imagination has shifted. It's not a toy, it's a power tool.
It's the most powerful tool we have.
Yeah.
It's the faculty that builds the future.
Let's wrap this up with a quick recap. 7 key takeaways.
Let's lock them in.
First,
Imagination is the architect of your reality. It is the blueprint.
second,
Second, your mental rehearsals become your default behavior. So practice what you want to become.
third,
Worry is a misuse of the imagination. It's actively building what you don't want.
fourth,
Clarity in your mental picture is essential. A foggy map leads nowhere.
fifth,
You must combine thought with feeling to create vitality. Emotion is the fuel.
sixth,
Repetition cuts the groove of habit. Consistency is everything.
and
Seventh, your actions must align with your mental pattern. You have to walk in the direction you are looking.
There it is, the blueprint for creating the blueprint.
It sounds simple when we lay it out, but practicing it changes everything.
And this is still just the beginning. Next time in our third session, we're going to tackle cause and effect and mental discipline.
We'll be talking about how to hold your mind steady when the outside world is chaotic, how to keep your hand on the tiller when a storm hits.
Definitely don't want to miss that one.
That's where the practice really gets tested.
Thanks for being here. If you want the full series, check the playlist, and please like and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode.